Hello, my friend. My name is Kaisa Pylkkänen, and I'm a stand-up comedian and writer from Helsinki, Finland. For years, I've been reporting to my friends abroad about what's actually happening in Finnish politics. And now that we have the extreme right party in power, the real shit show has begun. This is Letters from Hell. Subscribe now. Now, this was the first 2 weeks of this government. And since then, the same has gone on for 15 months. There was a case where a 53-year-old MP was caught shooting around Helsinki in a bar he'd been in a bar and he didn't get the attention of some 18-year-old girls, and then he had to do some wrestling, and then he ended up shooting in shooting in the streets towards the House of Parliament, which was next door. He came straight from work to this bar, of course. But this also means that, he's brought a loaded gun to Parliament. Now, we can only ask who he was planning to shoot before he heard the call of karaoke, but we will never know. And his punishment for this was a 3-week paid leave where he could think about what he'd done, and he came back saying he's done nothing wrong. Case closed. This is Finland today. We used to be actually pride on something very different. Well, after this case, just recently there was another one where another Nazi minister, Ville Tavio, basically had pulled Finland out of an alliance to rebuild Ukraine, which had a huge focus on equal rights and human rights issues. But, this was a bit much for Ville because, there were words he didn't like inclusion, inclusivity, and LGBTQI plus rights. He's not going to help the gays, is it? Nah, you can't do that. So we're going to leave Ukraine be. They're fine. They're fine. There's other ways to help without helping the gays, Ugh. This is Finland today. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, how the people have been reacting now that all these, gun-crazed people, the little Steve Bannons on acid, are going fucking mental there. We've had people stabbing immigrant kids in the broad daylight in the middle of a shopping mall. Several cases, and it's just getting worse, and it's getting worse. And meanwhile, the government's cutting from absolutely everything. They've already ravaged the country. People have rendered homeless, and companies are running bankrupt because, they've just pulled off all the aid also from anything that is helping anyone underprivileged. The aid workers are left with nothing. Finland's pulled out of. We're going to be kicked out of the UN soon with this, how we're dealing with things. We're refusing to fund any peace organizations. We're refusing to fund culture. Jesus Christ. I mean, arts and culture. That's not a Nazi thing to fund, We've already had Sibelius and a couple of painters, and they're dead now, so they don't need funding. But Finnish culture it's fine. It's ready. We don't need any more. That seems to be the message. But what else? What they are funding? What they are funding is shooting ranges. Yes, that happen to be also run by Nazi MPs. But that's, someone would say that that's corruption. But I don't think that's corruption. Well, it is corruption, but we don't call it that. It's much nicer. Just hold on to the reputation of the least corrupt country in the world and keep doing what I think they've always done, and then just hide it. Just tuck it somewhere there. Well, this will go on for another 3 years, so I will tell you on this channel what goes on here. Do subscribe. This is Letters from Hell.